Let's go.
Skadoosh. Right, we're here, I think. Make sure everything's there. Hello. Hello, it's Tuesday. And we're playing D&D. Holy poop. It's only been 4 months. 4 months, kids. Welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. We are going to be continuing on with Fables Among Titans. You'll be shocked, but this is a D&D 5th edition campaign, and we've been playing it for 77 sessions.
Mate.
So we're going to go through the stuff real quick, and then I've got a beautiful monologatistic recap. It's a real word, look it up. It's not. And then we'll crack on and see what these gorgeous, beautiful bastards have got in store for the game. So, go on.
Do I have to do a new embroidery now that says gorgeous, beautiful bastards to go with lovely bunch of coconuts?
Whatever keeps you busy, and yes. So, social medias. If you go to Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, we're on there. Just look for Heavyweight Gaming, you'll be able to find us. There's a link tree command that Mel doesn't know about.
Listen.
Mel's been on vacation for 4 months by working her ass off in other areas of the world, like her own job.
My actual job.
Her actual job. So, the command for it. Woo.
Socials.
There you go. There you go.
I've got the command links up.
So you can go find out all them. There's also the buttons under the stream if you want to click on that, or if you click on Linktree, it'll show you everything you can find us on. We've got a YouTube channel that's got hundreds of hours of previous adventuring in our many campaigns. The recap I will perform shortly will only cover the most recent times of Fables Among Titans. So if you want to know what happened in the previous 70 plus sessions, go watch YouTube. Or on Spotify. If you go to Spotify and search Heavyweight RPG, I think it is, or Heavyweight Gaming, one of them, you'll come to our Fables Among Titans campaign that you can listen to whilst you drive. Woo! So that's social media, that's YouTube. We've got a Discord channel. Come find us on Discord, hang out with us. We'll talk loads of nerdy stuff with you. I know people have got like 3 million Discord servers in their little lists, but feel free to come and say hello and we'll say hello back. It's the Discord, the YouTubes, the socials. I think that's it for that. Right. Have I missed one? No? Moving on.
No, I don't. Yeah, go on.
Moving on. 228 hours.
That's 9.5 days, guys, of solid. Just in case anyone was wondering. That's 9.5 days.
Sponsors. We are officially sponsored by Lucky Bottom Mats, Coyote Grey and Sunscape. Now, Lucky Bottom Mats are exactly what it says. They create battle mats. So you flip them out on your table and boom, you've got an A3, an A4, an A5, travel versions, etc. of just beautiful maps as modelled by Luke, the Invisible Book.
Oh, yeah, we love. There we go.
There we go.
Invisible Look.
Yeah, he's gone.
There we go.
If you want a cavern or a castle, a town or a tavern, a mountainside, a forest, a ritual circle, rivers of lava, tundras, ships at sea or in the sky, they have got one for every occasion. Go check them out. They're absolutely amazing at what they create. Every Kickstarter they do, instantly funded for that very reason. They're just good at what they do. If you go to Drive Through RPG, all the physical maps that they create are also available digitally, so go check them out. If you happen to be passing the Real20 Marketplace, pop in and type in Coyote Grey in the search engine, and you will get to see all the chibi packs and all the beautiful chibi artwork that Coyote Grey has done. As an example of the artwork, you can see the little slideshow going on beneath Aristotle / Mel. The little slideshow going on. Coyote Grey created those for our characters. Amazing. I love their artwork. I love chibi artwork. It's amazing. Go check them out. Buy them all. You can also download them and use them, well, wherever else you play it digitally. Sunscape. If you like sound in your games and you happen to be sat around a table because you are extremely lucky, then you can play this out of any digital device that allows you to have browsing, capability. Go to sunscape.com, create yourself an account, and you get loads of, even the free stuff. There's loads of content and sound sets on there that you can use for your games to enhance the ambience. If you play online like we do, whoever's running the game usually, while they're playing their sound sets, they can share what they're playing just by sharing a link, and your players can click on it and hear what you are playing. So yeah, go check them out. We have a plethora of other sponsors, supporters, lovers of the channel, which I'm going to put together another command that just gives you all them. We've got Bardic Inspiration, we've got Roughworks Creative, we've got Sawdust and Swear Words, we've got Oshana, who is amazing, and I changed the overlay a little bit up and I've taken her off the overlay. Don't tell her. But go check out Oshana on Instagram and Twitch and all that good stuff. She's been a long-term fan of supporter of the channel since day dot, to be fair. And she also gets to play once a month on the channel at 1 o'clock in the morning on a weekend. It's amazing. I love it. But yeah, say hello to Oshana if you do pop in. Sponsors. Bits. We'll do bits. Come on. Give me my monkey
This better
face.
not have changed.
Give
This
me
better not have changed.
Do you feel sorry for the adventurers? Monkey face. Donate 200 bits / cheers to give the party a reroll. They can't be used on the DM or death saving throws, and they don't roll over to the following week. So yeah, if you've got money and you don't want it, we will have it. So throw it at these lot and they can re-roll dice. If you are evil or just happen to be the hero I deserve, you can donate 500 bits and I will use them to, well, essentially whatever I want to do. If they roll a nat 20, I'll force that out of them because it's funny for me. So yes,
Thank you,
all
Jenny.
bits are appreciated.
Hey.
Thank you, Sage Bun, Jenny. So that's the bits. Charity stream now, yes. As you can see, the incredible artwork and the life drawing of myself. I paused for at least 3 minutes for that. We are running a charity stream between the 24th and 28th of July 2023. Wasn't Mel. Wasn't me, JB. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First time in the chat.
Welcome.
First time in the chat, throwing 500 bits at the Dungeon
Hey,
Master.
Nando, thank you.
Whee! Turns out Jade knows him.
I do. Torments me endlessly by muting me in Discord.
Next
really.
time, tell him it's 200 he wants to give,
Yeah.
not 500.
Five's fans. Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Every year we do a charity stream. And so far in the last few years we've raised about £8,000 for various charities, which is amazing. And it's all down to us being idiots and staying up for a long time rolling dice, and you lot being crazy ass loving community that you are and throwing in donations. So this year, as I said, 24th to the 28th of July, we'll be doing a continuation of our Monday night campaign when Glory is not enough. It will be that party playing for 12 hours each day, noon till midnight, Monday to Friday, 60 hours. Turns out our last one let me stay up for 60 hours in a one.
I wonder why.
And it'll be live around a table. We're going to invade. Thanks for the follow. We're going to invade. It's gravy time. We're going to invade Amelia and Rich's house and their lovely dogs. Send their kids away, and we're going to play around a table. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The 3 charities we are doing it for this year is Shelter, and they deal with homeless situations in young folk and others. Helping them through, well, the shitty situation they're in, to be fair. So any help they can get, obviously the better. Papyrus, which is suicide prevention in young folk. I don't really need to sell that. That's a brilliant charity, and you know, as much effort as help we can give them, the better. And MS UK, of a charity close to a couple of our players, and it supports them on their journey whilst having to deal with life and MS. So yeah, if you are able to donate, please do. If you're not, rob a friend. I've got loads of friends with a couple of quid in the pocket. I happily take it off them. Yeah, loads and loads of love. There will be prizes being shouted out because we're going to raffle them off. We've got candle sets, we've got £100 gift vouchers, we've got minis, we've got Lucky Battle Mats are throwing in. We've Sirenscape have thrown in subscription. What's the word? I'm going to go with voucher, but that's the wrong word. So yeah, we'll loads and loads of prizes come in, and I shall tell you all about them shortly. And I believe... Oh, and we've got a new campaign starting with a new-ish sponsor, Dungeon in a Box subscription. Go check out Dungeon in a Box online. I don't think there's a command for it yet. We've got a new campaign coming, starting at level 1. I'll be playing, which is weird. It'll be dungeon mastered by Rich from Dice of the Beholder, and it'll be once a month. Every time their subscription box lands, we will run the next part in their campaign adventure, showing you guys exactly what you get for your money. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
cool.
That's really
I like
cool.
that.
You know what I mean? This time next year, Rodney, we'll be on 400.
I didn't know you were allowed to play anymore. I thought they
Yeah.
put out a ban on you for that.
Yeah.
I mean, well, don't tell anyone.
Are you playing the barbarian by any chance?
Oh, it's level 1, so there's a couple of options, but yeah.
Of course you are. Of course you're playing a barbarian. I expect nothing less.
But it'll be a singing barbarian.
A swashbuckling rogue.
I might, you know, see if Bucky's hanging about somewhere.
No.
So
No, you should play the daughter of Bucky. I liked her.
we also in the chat. I completely forgot Sparky. I'm very bad. You should redact your sponsorship. Sparky and Co, who is fast becoming and will be all over the stream, a new sponsor of the channel, and we can go through all that when I'm not lazy and update everything and tell you all about it. So yeah, it's all right. This is why all my sponsors leave.
Sparky plays in Spelljammer, don't they?
Sparky does play in Spelljammer on a Wednesday. If you want to check out Sparky, Sparky and Co. If you go onto Twitter and such, and look for Sparky, Prince Minis, and they are incredible, absolutely incredible. So if you are looking for miniatures for every occasion, go check out Sparky on Twitter. I'll get the Etsy shop up and we'll throw it in there. But yeah, please check out Sparky and Co. on Etsy, on Twitter. You got Facebook? We'll get all the socials and put them up for you. But yeah, if you're after miniatures, please check out Sparky. Absolutely amazing.
Definitely not on the Etsy. Pulling up a link. Here we go.
I don't know if you can post links.
I'm not, but I can send one to Mel.
Mel can do it.
So there's a link going in chat. Right. Is that it, Mel? I know you're only back just,
No.
but I've not got
No
any better.
idea.
I've not got any better at
No
this.
clue.
Right.
There we go, kids.
We'll assume. A link.
Now, are you ready for the recap of a lifetime, folks?
Let's go. Let's do
Oh,
it.
jeez.
Speed run.
Be here for a while.
This is only going to be a recap of the most recent events in your lovely adventuring lives. Because there's
So I hope you've made a cuppa.
77
I just finished my
episodes.
cup.
9.5 days worth.
Are you ready? I'm going to bullet point this, and this is going to make you lot go, oh, shit, yeah.
Ah, yeah, we did that.
Are we ready?
Let's go.
3, 2,
Yeah.
1, let's go. After much adventuring that you can find on YouTube, the party have spent some time in the Towan Highlands. And my children are going to bed now. Right, so that Ginge. You alright? Sorry, did I poke you in the face?
No, I banged my head off that bit.
On the headset. You alright?
Yeah.
Right, come on. Nice one. Bye. They're bigger as well. What did I say? You've been adventuring. It's on YouTube. You spent some time in the Towan Highlands with Kesfion's sister. At the House of Nerekai, the witness of Story's End, turns out a massive purple sea drake, aka a leviathan. Guess. Holy poop, I'm getting notifications.
Notifications.
Tie-dye dragon. Gravy time. Whilst there, a few things happened. You defeated, so it is believed, Kelphias, the wielder of Ravensbane, the overlord, fiendish overlord, general of the demonic armies that are currently invading the eastern borders of Ravenholm. Once defeated, you grabbed their ashen paste plate armour and great sword of beautiful ebon steel and raven motifs, and locked them away in the vault of waiting stories. What you also locked in the vault was Ari's beautiful, extremely powerful rapier, known
Which
as
I only remember today, just so you all know.
known as Eagle's Promise. The reason this sword was locked away is because it has been promised a couple of souls, and one of those souls happens to be Xandria Summerbreezes, the true love of Harry. So the rumour says. So for Xandria's own safety, and mostly Harry's, the blade has been locked away, so who knows what effect that will have on our young swashbuckler. Probably the same effect that taking the ailment that has bothered Xandria since her childhood out of her and taking it upon themselves. And now they totally don't have venom running around inside of Harry. But we will see how the human constitution withstands such a creature. After killing Kelphias and attempting to kill Xandria, there was a lovely moment where Selena, sister of Kesfion, sung for you all, and gave you all blessings. They were minor, but useful. Probably the biggest thing on before departing was Kesvion managed to witness his family's epilogue, a place within this castle at the depths of the loch that they were in, where Kesvion got to witness the novella of his family line. Those he would call cousin, niece, nephew, brother, sister, father, mother, grandparent, whatever title folks give. Kesvion managed to witness his entire line. The only ones remaining, himself and Selena. You left the Towan Highlands, again, to go to the City of Ravens, where a lot was found out, to be fair, which is where I move over to my other recap. Within the City of Ravens, you ask for an audience with Lord Romerick, a long-term ally, friend, has always been willing to aid, and has a great understanding of when need of resource is requested. During your conversations with Lord Romerick, you learnt that Stefan, as in, we don't like that Stefan, Echo Stefan, has been very nice, helping those of Ravenholm to fight the forces of the demonic realms, single-handedly saved Commander Elva, pulled Celestina from the depths, an all-round good guy. You discover that Echo Stefan is currently in the northwest, guesting with Lord Everdark, a very renowned family lineage within Ravenholm, and they reportedly are discussing how best to use Echo Stefan's prodigy-like magics against the demons. There's also told that Kelthias is still leading the armies, and after having a quick little scry and seeing that there is indeed a massive demon leading the armies, you are not overly convinced that it is the same Kelthias. Maybe it's a title, maybe it's a sibling, who knows? Your main reason for going to Lord Romerick is to ask for aid in getting to the magical college, place of training or exceptional training known as the Darshal Adusian, part of the Tri-Solemn. 3 very, very high reputable places of learning. You have chosen to go by air, and Lord Romerick will be arranging such. Using the Scrying implement, you got to see Commander Elva, who is now hosting a incredible set of plate armor and that represents all symbology of Ravenholm, every house motif, every possible tick box you could think of. She is the commander of Ravenholm's forces. Amongst those forces, you saw that the Copper Forest also has their silver lances with their copper tabards and the silver lance motif in and among the forces. The Eagle Province is currently hemmed in by fair magic. The Jesuit, who you know to be Toodles, has lent her magics and powers of what remains at least of the Autumn Fair realm, currently residing in the material realm, and they have hemmed them in with the magic of what remains of the Copper Forest. The Korban Astaroth. You are also informed there is no longer a political request of knives in the dark, but a straight up warrant for their death. Take Korban Astaroth out and be rewarded, is essentially what has been announced to Ravenholm. The last you knew of Korban Astaroth is they stole the House of Tor's flagship and sailed west. You also met Argos, who there is a very strong chance that Argos is related to Celestina of the Ivory Wall in some way, shape or form. Many pointed the finger at Harry, but you know, Harry drinks a lot.
Harry bloomin' wishes.
Harry does wish.
You discovered Ulrich, who was originally sent with a small force to the Ivory Wall to be bound to it, as he has what is called an Avatarian spirit, a soul of great power, similar to that of Stefan. And they were going to use said soul to imbue the wall again and return its strength. And the reason it needed its strength returning is where we will join our lovely folks in this current adventure, is because the dragon, known as Natathrin Sasha, whose soul once powered the magics of the wall, was released, and now resides within an 8-foot ivory plate, super magical warforged body, which is currently stood 5 feet from the party, with their friend Artarian of the Court of the Blind, First of Sunlight. And we left the last episode with Natathrin angrily saying the word eagle. So,
Forgot about that bit.
I think we all forgot about that bit.
Nope.
Nope. Leave.
So, as we return, I do have to do a special shout out to Sapphire. Unfortunately, Sean's got a migraine, evil migraine,
Sent by wizards.
sent by
Sent by
wizards.
wizards.
That's how we take down the overpowered monks. So rest up and see you soon, Sapphire. Are you ready? Because the recap is over.
Right.
Well, I
Ready's
mean,
a
it's,
strong word.
I was gonna say, yeah, ready is a strong word. Also, I feel like this is an Ari problem as it currently stands, so the rest of us are just gonna
Listen.
take a step back.
Wow.
Is Kess definitely hidden the family crest? No
Kess
kelpies to
is-
see here? or
Kess,
this
yeah,
guy?
there's
Kess,
nothing to
there's an actual shot of Kess pushing said crest as far down as possible.
No, I believe in the last one I was like quite glad that he had decided not to wear that on show.
Yeah, that's true.
Worked out quite nicely.
You push it down, we'll clip it.
That's like
It's in.
I'll lay it underneath,
Yeah.
keeping it safe.
Yeah. Keep it secret. Keep
I
it safe.
definitely remember the phrase, I'm no kelpie.
Yeah.
I'm not Kelpie.
A
Oh,
quick
Kelpie.
one for yourselves, in case you do or don't remember. The blessings you received, Kesvion was given his as a gift, and is yet to unwrap said gift.
Oh.
And Ari, once their sword had been locked away, Selena gave their gift from Bry, their mermaid friend, a cool-looking rapier that Ari is yet to
A
attune to.
bitchin' cool sword.
Yeah. New bitch and cool sword, less hungry for souls.
Yes.
Who
As
knows
far as
yet?
we know so far.
Yeah.
So, Lord Romerick is stood there, leaning on Kane. Oh, sorry, sat there. Kane at the side, looking as exhausted and haggard as they did 4 months ago, the last time we played. And you see Artarian in their gold corset, their long ivory cloak. You see this 8-foot, like, takes up more than half, a door and a half width, Warforged, or Soulforged as is known to Ari. The eyes are behind the helm of this Warforged, a Siberian ice colour. Like, they've got that blue tinge to them, and very, very beyond piercing. You wish they were only piercing. And they glare at Aristotle, Mini Lord of the Eagles, and just say the word Eagles. Can you all give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Ooh. I'm
You know
safe.
we're great at those.
I'm
I was gonna
fine.
say,
I'll be fine.
Your favourite role.
Yeah, I will be absolutely.
Gonna roll the
Oh,
Dragonberry
fine.
dice,
Oh,
okay?
oh, kids,
We're
starting
dragon
strong.
divorced, so you might not
We
want to do
are
that.
starting strong.
good.
I'm sending
We're
the
strong.
picture.
We're strong. 21.
Cool. Roll yours again, Zandria.
What? Why?
I'm just throwing me re-rolling.
Oh. Fuck you, not 20.
I happens all the time. It's standard rule.
It's
Standard rule.
okay. It's just your resident eagle is going to go down again.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So
I think it's an assumption you didn't get up.
Sandria, 21. Ruby?
No, sorry,
Not
not 20, so 26.
24.
26. 24. Harry?
9.
We've got a reroll.
That's a good point. We have a reroll.
So it begins.
But it's my bloody
Oh,
dice,
no,
so you
hold
know I'm
on.
going to be
Oh,
terrible.
that's
My-
true.
We leveled up, didn't we? Not 24, 27.
Oh, well, that fails.
Too far.
21.
21. So,
Yeah.
So it's just Harry. The lack
I mean,
of
you might
wisdom.
want a low roll. You never know.
That's a good point.
Ruby,
we don't
Ruby,
know.
what did you get?
27.
Cool. So, Kess, you just pass.
Amazing.
Ruby and
Yeah, there's
Andrea,
no way
you
I'd have
pass.
even managed it then, because I've got +0 to wisdom.
What, even on your save? Do
AD knows this.
you not get a
You know
plus 2
this.
save? Oh, no, because you don't
Nope.
have your proficiency. Yeah. So, shockingly, Harry's frightened of Natathryn right now.
Well,
Not really.
So, disadvantage while they're in line of sight, which is very difficult in a small office and the size of them. And, yeah, you can't go towards them. The rest of you, you're very aware that there's a frightening presence, but are sturdy.
But
enough to
just
resist
kind
it.
of like a.
So good that the only person
Tuesday,
who's
and it's
actually
not-
seen this is not here to play tonight.
I know. Oh.
So, the word rumbles out. Artarian, for the first time in all the scenarios you've met them, has a nervous look in their eye. This is the same person when they faced you in the depths of the wall, allowed Sapphire to grapple them without even so much as a flinch. Right now they are nervous. Artarian's hands come up in a almost sign of not submission but of no threat, and stands between Natathryn and Ari and begins to speak to Natathryn in quiet tones, in a bit of a softening edge to their voice, in Draconic. Who speaks Draconic?
Speak Draconic. Damn it.
Cool.
fucking married kids do.
Oh, yeah, the
Dragon
kid.
divorced.
Oh, yeah, you got divorced. You're right.
Artarian is saying, please be quiet, please rest, calm your mind, rest your spirit.
We're in an Asda. Bring it down a peg. Yeah.
Not the same eagle. Not enough space.
Not enough space.
Gosh.
There is an element of... There is a pause from the Tathrin. And the ivory warforged Broconic. Nice, I like it. The warforged dragon steps back and in Draconic says, I'm sorry. To Artarian.
Yeah.
Artarian turns to Harry.
Super wasn't us.
I was going to say, oh.
Artarian turns to Harry and goes, run, little eagle.
Oh, no.
And
I mean, Ari will probably take them up on that, considering
That's all right, it's,
they're frightened.
2 seconds.
Kind of need Ari here, though.
Ari will definitely start walking towards like the back of the chamber, etc., or wherever the heck they are. 'cause I can't
Sandria's going to
remember.
grab him. Sandria will grab him. 100%. Nope. Nope, you don't get out of this.
So, those on Sunscape.
I just heard that.
I don't, because I have to.
Chat,
use
let
the
me know
power
if you
of
can hear
imagination.
Sunscape.
That would be Jay.
That was a dragon
angry
roar.
snarling.
Oh, nice. Cool.
I bet in Jurassic Park, where there's suddenly a goat leg on top of the car, that's what we're hearing.
Yeah.
Except it's
so nice.
Ari leg.
Oh, dear.
As Artarian turns to Harry and says, run, little eagle. You hear a dragon roar, emanating from Natathryn. The room itself rumbles. Small glasses and ornaments fall off their shelves and stuff in Romeric's office. Romeric grips hold of his chair as the small tremors go through the entire palace. The Soulforged itself drops to a knee, both fists on the ground, and a smoke-like mist starts to pour out of the Soulforged, taking shape, wisping through the air. You see scales among the smoke and the mist. You see teeth, a large eye, and it starts to spread and spread. It is immeasurable, the amount of smoke and mist that is coming out of here, and it rises through the palace and above the palace, out of the building. You can hear the dragon above. Give me a sec.
I'm going to turn Sarah's game down.
That's what you get for rolling a 9.
Yeah.
Right.
I blame our dragon divorce.
Hopefully. Chat, this ain't too loud, but let me know. You can now hear the roaring of a dragon outside. You begin to hear screams. You hear a high-pitched rushing of air, and the whole palace that you're in shakes. The glass from the chandeliers, some fall off and break, candles fall out of their holdings. There are people that work the palace that are now shouting and running. Arterian is looking about for something on the floor, under the desk out in the corridor, and you just hear him in Draconic going, "This is for you, Ari and Kess. Where is she? Where is she?" Looking around.
What do you need?
I need to find her. I need to find her. She is, she's not as you know her. She is small.
I need
Please
more words.
look for the girl with no hands.
Okay.
Your lives
Can I
depend on
do
it.
that, please?
Go for it. And he leaves the office and looking. Eagle, I suggest you're not in the city. And he walks away from you.
Ruby has run to the window and is looking out.
As
across,
you
like,
look
the
out,
streets of the gardens.
You
where
see
everyone's-
a gargantuan, spectral dragon, the colour of ivory, shockingly. And as they're breathing down into the city, buildings are getting absolutely obliterated by a arcane presence of force. There's no fire or ice or anything like this. This is sheer force damage that is hitting the streets of the city of Ravens, the capital of Ravenholm. People are getting obliterated. Young, old, infant, animals, anything, buildings, anything in the way of Natathrin's breath is getting obliterated. What you also notice is those that don't get obliterated on the first, blood pours from their ears and eyes as if their mind is being attacked. If you give me an Arcana check, Ruby. Natathrin is the biggest creature you've ever seen in your life, Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby is kind of low-key impressed by the massive dragon, because let's face it, this is Ruby. This is the Steve Irwin of Colossus.
It's not something hesitation.
Let me just find Arcana. That is a 15.
Let me turn down, so I'm just gonna... I've turned that down, Jenny. Let us know if it's still too loud. 15? Mm-hmm. From what you can tell, the breath of Natathrin, when they roar and let out clearly this attack of their inner spirit, is force and psychic. Arcane damage is being caused by her breath. She is dive bombing into the city. In Draconic, she is screaming, not shouting or commanding. She is screaming in, even though you don't know the word, the rage and the hurt and the pain in this one word that she's screaming. Every time she slashes into the city beneath and flies to the skies again. The shadow Natathrin casts, even in this spectral spirit form, is that of a mountain. There is in your mind, it's an inconceivable thing to see such a creature present. Behind you, you see Kess, Zandria, Ari. Kess, give me a perception check. Zandria and Ari, what are you doing?
Is there still like an actual like soul forged body in front?
There is the 8 foot. It literally took a knee, both fists, like a still silverback essentially. Like they put the fists on the floor and they're kind of no light, and there is a very thin wisp of ivory smoke that goes up through the ceiling, like a finger's width.
24 AD.
24. As our Arterian goes one way, you kind of look the other, and there's a small library at the far end. Door ajar. It's not a door. It's a jar. And you see just beyond, there is. It looks like a youth knelt down, long white robes, like tatty robes, real dark hair just hanging loose next to them.
On it.
You rush over as you just go in.
Yeah, I mean, what else am I going
I've
to do? There's a
I've
giant
gotta ask.
dragon
Some people might
screaming
not
people's
set the trap
eardrums
off, you know what I mean?
out. Like,
You, as you open the door, you see in a ring of salt a young, what appears to be human-looking girl, knelt down, crying. She has no hands, like from the wrists are just resting in her lap. This ring of salt round her, and she is weeping.
he's going to, like, yell for Arterian.
As soon as you yell Arterian, woof, he appears next to you. He goes towards her, stops, and is checking the. You can see he's checking the ring of salt, and there's no break in it.
How can we help?
You need to leave. Get the eagle away from the city. You can hear her screams, Ari and Kess, and the one word she is shouting is eagles.
Oh shit. Ari will definitely like head over towards, because they'll have heard that. Which is great. I know, but you know.
Aris, we need to get you out of here right now.
Arterian is now knelt opposite the girl, but not within the ring of salt. And he's again in Draconic. Come back to me, Natathrin. Stay with me. Be with me. Hear my voice. Come to my voice. Breathe. Settle your spirit. And just that constant trying to talk them down. She looks up. Her eyes are blazing white lightning. Just pure rage in them. You can see her tear-stricken cheeks. And she sees Ari down the corridor. And she just screams. Kess, all of you, can you give me a Constitution saving throw as that scream pierces your mind?
I'm at disadvantage, aren't I, on those?
Constitution saving throw, yes you are.
Yes, you are. Yeah. 18 for Zandria.
17.
22.
Kess, you pass.
Oh!
I figured I was going to be carrying you out of here anyway.
I was going to do so, but I'm going to pass out, so it's fine.
So Zandria, Ruby, and Ari, you take 15 points of psychic damage. Kess, you take 7.
Amazing.
15. Minor.
And behind you, Ari,
I've forgotten how to do maths. Alright, there we go.
You make it the number smaller.
Yeah, I can do the numbers.
You make it that much smaller.
The numbers, they go that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
got it.
yep. Down.
behind you, Ari, you hear it. And as you turn...
You've been practicing that.
You know what I mean? Since my wedding night. Anyway.
Wow. Wow.
The behind you is the size of a large dog, a lizard-like creature, real sharp fangs, teeth bared, made of what seems to be the same spectral ivory mist that Natathrin is currently exuding, and it goes to attack you on a 10. So it slashes out at you, and it's just there. Kesvion, behind you, you hear the same growl. You turn. There's another one, 2 up on this, on the same corridor that you 4 are kind of spaced about. Romerick is up on his cane. What is going on? What do we do?
We need to leave here now.
We
need to get.
You still need the airship.
Doesn't matter how we're leaving, but we need to get him, pointing to Ari, as far away from here as we can.
Considering the giant spectral dragon outside, I don't think the airship is going to be a wise idea.
What's the other idea?
What you got?
Do you have access to a magic circle?
Not to the Darshal Adusian. 11 on you.
Doesn't matter if
Caspian.
it's not to the Darshal Adusian,
Not
just as long as it
happening.
is.
Yes, we do have magic circles. They're down below though. We'd have to go. I
Is
can't
there a
keep
pot
up with
plant in the
yourselves.
room?
Is there a what? Sorry.
Is there a plant in the room?
There's a few plants in the room. Yeah.
5 slots have I got? Because I used one.
Can you have 2?
I do have to. Yeah.
Ari, Kes, do you want to fight back?
No, I'm going
No.
for getting the hell out of Dodge. I'm not going to piss this thing off any more than it already
No.
has been, just from seeing Ari's face.
Ari was gonna
Oh.
try and like talk to them, but is kind of reconsidering that idea.
Nah, it's not. Nah.
I think even he's got the wisdom to go, maybe not.
So if Kess looks slightly busy, Ruby will look at Xandria, point at the plant, and go, "Where am I going?
Can you take us anywhere?
Anywhere I've been before that has the tree."
20, Ari. As a lizard creature tries to bite you.
Yeah, that hit.
Take 3 points
Let's just
for
go-
piercing damage.
We need to get as close as possible
22, Caspian.
To where?
Yeah,
to
that'll hit.
Darshal Adusian, so wherever is closest.
5
Where
points
is
of
it?
piercing.
Cool.
As these
I'm
2.
gonna
I-
try
I
and
need
make
the
my
map.
way towards Ari and kind of like get him to wherever the girls are trying to sort shit. But also kind of keeping an eye to make sure that Romerick's not about to get like got.
Ruby's eyes are kind of going from Xandria, waiting to be
Pick
told
a
where the Dark
destination.
Shadow
I'm,
Don't
I'm,
really
I'm, I'm
care.
trying. I'm
Um,
trying to remember where we've
It's
been.
near,
That's
it's near
the
the
closest.
wall. It's near
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
But you don't
Wall's
really want to go to
fucked,
the wall right
guys.
now.
Oh, that's right. The wall is
Alright.
fucked.
Wall's fucked.
Kes,
what was
give me a
that?
dex save while they're doing
What was that? What was the
That's
town?
fine. I got that.
What was the AD? What was the town we went to where we first saw the sapphire dragons called?
Oh, in the north?
Yeah.
Lyric.
Was it Lyric?
No. Was it Lyric?
No, no,
Lyric
Lyric
was
was
where
not.
you
Lyric
went when
was- it was
Ruby first
pre-Lyric,
joined the
wasn't it?
party.
Give me a sec.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Oh, that's where the horses went down.
Yeah.
That is nat 20 plus 4.
Cool.
If I had the
It was
map, then
Marchbrook.
Marchbrook. If I
That's
had
where
the
you
map,
met.
then
That's where you
I
met Romerick.
yeah. If I had the map, then it would be easier because I could figure out which one was closer, Lyric or March.
Never been there though.
You've never
Oh,
been
yes.
to Lyric. You just know of it.
I've been to Lyric.
Yeah, she's been to Lyric.
Yeah.
No, but she's
Because
never been to
that's-
Marchbrook.
No,
No, I've
but
never
I'm
been to
saying,
Marchbrook, but
yeah.
I've been to
So
Lyric, 'cause
Lyric,
that's
Lyric
where-
would
that's
probably
when
be
I
the better
first
one to
joined
go
you.
to then, because that's probably closer to the academy. If I'm
You haven't been
Is
to
it
Lyric.
She has.
When?
Me to Lyric.
That's where we met her.
That's the first, yeah. When
Yeah,
we-
'cause she
when
dealt
we
with
met me in the
Goldilocks.
woods and we joined up with Brashhammer and the cult of whatever they were called with Albera, and we joined their caravan and went to Lyric, and we fought
Frog
the
people.
vampire in a basement
Yeah,
with
so
the
that's-
dogs.
That's Lyric.
But
isn't it?
Lyric's
wasn't
up in
Eden
the
then?
north. We are going.
Lyric's where we think. What's
Lyric's
his
where
face
you
might
think
be.
Everdark and
Yeah.
Stefan
Well, we're going south, aren't we?
is. If you want to go south, Alofen
going
is
southeast.
the town / city that hosts the Darshal Adusian.
And when we
But I don't think
strike,
we've
just-
been.
Marchbrook is where you
guys will
first met
form.
Robert.
Yeah, we haven't been anywhere south other than here, have we?
Ebbendorf is where you first
Started.
started.
And
never
that's
been to
other
Ebbendorf.
side, and she's
No,
never
no.
been there. We'll
Uh,
just go to what is left of the Copper Forest. Then we'll just have to go there. So I think that's the only. Otherwise, we're gonna end up too far north.
Yeah.
We could go to Lyric and get the.
just have a
Get
go at
closer to
Everdark and
Stefan.
Stefan.
Yeah, let's not. That's
Come on, come on.
too close to them. We'll just have to go to the Copper Forest, or what's left of it anyway.
Okay, so on the advice that we're going to the Copper Forest, I am going to cast Tree Stride on the biggest plant in the room, and open a portal, and as Ruby now does, counts everyone in to the portal ahead of her.
So,
And
Kess,
then with a
your sorry Ruby, your dex save was for you to leap out of the way of the bubble that Arterian puts up around himself and the girl kneeling, and it's
Cool.
an immediate and you kind of half get pushed away from it just as you thingy. As soon as that bubble appears, the two lizard-like spectral lizards that were attacking you and Harry ignore you two and go nuts at this bubble, this force field, this arcane shield, scratching at it, biting at it, screeching, trying to get into Arterian and the girl. The screeching and screaming of Natatharin increases. If you chance to look out the window again, Ruby, it is tenfold worse than it was a couple of seconds ago. Romerick is now at the window of his office, absolute shock and fear on his face, witnessing the destruction of whatever the Tatharin lays their eyes upon in the sky. And all he keeps saying is, there's no fire. There's no fire. And he's just staring out, and every now and then his hand will come to his mouth. And he just looks at you lot lost. What do I do? And he looks back out the window as you.
Ruby's eyes sweep again, like at the rest of them out of the window, back to Romerick, and she just jerks a thumb towards the portal.
Yeah, I like seeing. I think Kess is kind of doing the same kind of quick math catches that Ruby's doing it, and kind of nods. Right, he's coming through too, and if Ari's already kind of making his way towards, it's going to be like, right, Romerick, you're going in the portal.
He will probably bow towards Natatha and Sasha, or what is left of them, and be like, I'm sorry in Draconic.
Try
As
attention
they're
to yourself,
leaving.
damn bastard.
As they're leaving.
And you jump
That's
through
what
the
I wanted
portal.
to do. Yeah.
Okay. Where are you going, Ruby?
Ruby will be the last through, so she waits for everyone else and gives one last look at whichever Natatha she has like the clearest line of sight on, a look that is just.
If you've done it in the
empathy.
room, it'll be the Soul Forged.
Yeah, she looks at the soul forged with just empathy, pity, sadness, and just says, "Oh, you poor thing, I'm so sorry," and then jumps straight through after the rest of them closing the portal behind her.
As you jump through, to see that last light of the portal close, you stare. Stare a bit longer. Portal doesn't close. You turn and you can see your friends all kind of in that strange slow motion of, like, normally this is a in, out, the other side. This is like you step through a door and you're in a slowed waiting room. And you can move freely, Ruby. But your friends seem to be in that strange transition of going from being here and teleported.
Ow.
Did you take Romerick with you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Romerick
Unless
is-
Romerick
yeah.
literally fought me, he is probably somewhere between
He's-
under an arm.
He's
and
completely disconnected from the scenario. He's like, yeah. But your
Can't wait to be
portal-
done for kidnapping Lord Romerick.
your
Yeah.
Such a good start to a session, isn't it?
What do you do, Rubes?
I would not stepping back out of the portal, but almost sort of like not quite leaning back out, but calls out, basically hoping Artarian can hear her from here going, is she keeping us here?
You hear in Sylvan, in a strained voice, like Artarian is concentrating his will on something immense. Yes.
Should I fight it?
No.
Can I move the others, grab them, drag them? Or if I speak to them, do they respond?
Do you try? Who do you speak to?
Whichever one is nearest to. Oh, actually, no, all of them. Basically,
they're all there, yeah.
Yeah, just everybody back out.
You can hear Ruby's voices. Do you attempt to leave back into Romric's office?
If Ruby says we have leave, then yeah, because obviously Ruby knows
Ruby
the
says
spell
so, yeah.
better than we do. So
Yeah.
guess we're going back out.
So you, in that weird thick mud sort of motion, step back out of the portal. It's very disorientating for the brief second. You missed that, I think, Luke, unless your headset.
Yeah, it was urgent.
Artarian confirmed that Natathryn is keeping the portal from doing its job. As you step back into the office, the portal remains like open, held. There's just a split in the air, just in the realm, as if the magic is cast, but just hasn't.
Can I feel the spell? Am I doing anything, exerting anything?
It's currently your spell. It feels like when you concentrate on magic and you have to hold it. Normally you just cast it and through you go. Right now, consider yourself concentrating.
Okay.
But that spell is there.
Can I see through that portal the destination as we know, or does it look the same as it always does, where perhaps we can see a suggestion of where we're going or where we're supposed to be going?
The latter.
So I can see the Copper Forest.
It looks accurate. Your spell looks accurate.
I can see where I want to go through the portal. The portal looks normal. It doesn't look like we'd be stepping into a void or anything. It's just a half-cast spell.
It is a full-on something powerful has gone. Pause on your spell.
Okay, and everybody's back out?
Even Romric, who's looking around to see if this is the same office he left.
I assume Cass has dragged Romric bodily back out.
If that's what the group decision's been, then that's...
It's not a difficult task.
The other thing you missed is Artarian advised me not to fight Natathryn on this and try to push the spell, so I just ordered everybody back out. And Ruby will go and sit cross-legged on the floor. There's no such thing as a safe distance in this office, so it's in front of the Warforged, not so close that I'm like getting into a personal bubble, but close enough that it's clear it's like, right, you have my attention, you have paused my spell, you have kept me here. I present myself for conversation on this matter, basically.
There is a huge crashing noise as the palace rumbles. It sounds close. Romric kind of almost falls, Kess steadies, he puts his hand on the windowsill, and you see just past the window some debris of the northeastern part of the palace has just been absolutely obliterated, as you hear again the cry of anger, pain, rage of Natathryn screaming the word eagles.
He watches the stonework go past the window and then just eyes back to front was like, I thought they should get rid of some of that stonework and plant trees instead.
We need to get Ari out of here so she stops trying to tear the place apart at the seams.
Evidently, magic is not gonna...
Because she doesn't want you away, she wants you dead.
You hear a cry of pain from Artarian down the corridor in the study.
Oh shit, no. Going down there.
You stay where you're put
You fucking
and
stay
out of
there.
sight.
Going down there.
Nope.
Grapple.
we'll get to that. Having a peek before you set off down there, you do see the bluish arcane shield dome that Arterion put round himself look like cracked glass, as those two spectral lizards are just throwing themselves mindlessly at it.
We need to help Arterion.
You need to stay out of the line of sight.
The girl with no hands is now on her feet. She looks, if you were to compare her to a human child, maybe 9 years old, 10 years old. I mean, Arterion is a tall archfey, and she is nowhere near his height, even on his knees. But the power radiating from her, you can see it doof, 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 hit against the inner of this dome that Arterion has put around them both.
Ruby is just sort of, if I can see both, she's sort of like, she's trying to work out which is the one that I need to talk to, like which is the one that I should be giving the attention to.
Oh, by the way, Ari is 100% grappled because he is never going to win a strength strike against the siblings.
No.
No. That would be foolish.
He'll try, but he 100% won't
Well,
win.
if you hit them first, they can't, so you can just dance away. What do you do, folks?
Don't me.
Uh,
I was just gonna be like, we need to help him. He's the only thing that's gonna stop them.
You need to stay out of sight. She needs to not see you. We need to get you as deep into the castle or as far away from here that she can't, that Natasha and Sasha doesn't know that you're here. She can't be able to glance down the corridor and see you. She'll set it all off again.
Also, Harry, you can't actually leave the office while that Warforge is there because you're currently frightened.
And it's in the door.
So give me another check just to see if you're still frightened.
Get under the desk.
Spoiler alert, I probably am. Yep. Certainly still frightened.
So even if you're stoic, you're probably turning your back on the Warforge just so you don't have to look at it. But its presence is definitely giving you the heebie-jeebies.
But then I'm probably more likely to want to go down towards the corridor.
You're not. Get under the desk. Get! And Kess will try and intimidate him. Like, get under there.
That's
I
between
can
you
just
two,
so
not
like
rolls.
see Kess like with a hand on the top of Ari's head, like
push him down.
Out of sight.
You hear another cry of pain from Arterion and a loud
Xandria is
of
just going to
glass.
start running down. Xandria is going to start running down whilst Kess deals with trying to get Ari hidden.
under a table.
Yeah.
Just get out.
I love it. Just stop, drop and roll. It's only a dragon.
Yeah.
As you run down to the dome, the creatures pay you no attention, Xandria, and it is as if they are just, if they were alive, just throwing their lives away at this magical dome. You can see Arterion sweating, absolutely drenched. One hand held out in your direction, probably the concentration that's on the dome, and another palm out towards the young girl who stood up in front of him. Her eyes still have that blazing white lightning in them, and he's just gritted teeth. I mean, even his corset's bent, he's not happy. Oof. And he just turns his head to like strained, as if someone's trying to keep his head there. He just strains to look at you. There is fear in Arterion's eyes.
Xandria will just dead in the eyes. Just, what do you need? Because we cannot get Ari out. You know her best. Advise.
And he just goes, "If you can't leave, then give her the eagle."
Well, that's not an option. So plan B.
And he just turns back to the girl.
I can't hear any of this, I'm too far away.
No.
So Xandria will start walking towards the girl.
You are stopped by a arcane dome.
Xandria puts her hand on the arcane dome.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Fine.
Just gonna put my hand on this magical. Shit.
Just gonna put my hand on this. I don't fucking care. No, 19 for the cons wave.
Take 11 points of lightning damage.
Yeah. Okay. So once hand on the dome.
You can feel. You feel sorrow, you feel fear, like you actually experience it. You feel joy, happiness, true love, not romantic, just true love. And then are overwhelmed with sorrow, like almost like catching your own breath. That pretty sure Xandria had a tear ducts ripped out when she was a child, but you just feel that you can't not feel it, but you feel sorrow, hurt. It is horrible, soul deep, and this, like I said, this truest love, and there is a conflict between this sorrow and this love. And you see Artarian, tears start to fall and roll down his cheeks, as if the girl is breaking his will.
Xandria will drop to her knees, hands still on the barrier, and she will stare directly at this girl, who obviously we know it's Natafrin, but
You saying anything, or?
yeah. There are bigger problems in this world to deal with right now. The eagle is not like the rest of the eagles who put you in that wall.
You weren't there.
I know. And I will never truly understand the hurt, the loneliness that you went through.
They lied.
I understand that forgiveness may not be a thing for the eagles.
Eagles.
But believe me, and she puts her other hand on the barrier. So she's got both hands on the barrier.
You take 3 points of lightning.
Believe me when I tell you that he is not like the rest. Much like names.
Altarian.
Thank you. Much like Altarian cares deeply for you and would do anything for you, give you the world. Aristotle has done the same for me. Do not paint all eagles with the same brush, Natafrin. Give him a chance to prove to you. Help us. There are bigger things coming. There are bigger things here to deal with, and if we do not stand as one, Natafrin, we will all fall.
The girl turns and looks at you, and you see Artarian kind of like slump, but still keeping his arms up. Not that he's finished doing anything, that she's let him take a breather, and she looks towards you, bawling her eyes out. Still this white lightning in her eyes. You see her long robe just past her wrists, hiding the fact that her hands are not there. Would you do the same for the eagle? As Artarian would for me, and I would for him.
Yes, I would.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion?
You charismatic characters should be pretty good at this.
You'd be surprised, actually. She's better off as
blasting.
intimidation. Yeah. So
You probably
first
don't
one
want to
was-
try the intimidation tactic right
First
now.
one was a dirty 20. The second one was an 8, so we've got a dirty 20.
I was going to say, it's your choice. David,
Yeah, well,
I'll go with the 8.
I'll take the
Let's see how this
8, yeah.
rolls.
Dirty 20 then.
20? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you. I believe you. And she turns towards Artarian. Her eyes no longer white lightning. As she falls into him, into an embrace. Artarian lets the magic go. The salt ring on the floor blows away an invisible breeze. The dome disappears. You kind of half catch yourself as it's... Yeah, oh, you fucker. And they both just crying in each other's arms. You hear the pain in the sky still from the spectral ivory dragon above the city of ravens. What damage it's done you are unsure of just yet. Harry, you no longer feel frightened. You don't exactly feel safe, but you no longer feel frightened. Ruby and Kess, you notice that the finger width's wisp of ivory smoke going up from the Tathrin's soul-forged body is coming back in on itself, thicker and thicker, like the reverse of a chimney, pouring back into it. The girl disappears, Xandria, just nothingness. No ivory smoke, no mist.
Yeah.
Just nothingness. And Artarian is left embracing nothing. And you can hear the sobbing, and his shoulders kind of heave a little bit. And he just looks at the floor. Where the other three are, you notice that the Warforged stands up and turns, looks at Xandria and the room where Artarian is, and walks towards it. They completely ignore you, Xandria. Do you stand in the way or let them pass?
Let him pass.
Into the study they go, and just puts one hand on Artarian's shoulder. Romerick is staring out at the window. No more dragon roars and screams. Well, there's still a lot of screaming, but for very different reasons. Just witnessing the ruin that the Tathrin has just brought upon the city of Ravens in such a short time. And with that, we will have a break. Because I want a cup of tea after that, and a whiskey.
A whiskey!
So we're going to have a quick break now, and then we shall return to the city of Ravens and see what is going to happen in part 2 of our return to Fables Among Titans. And we'll be back in a sec, folks. Break time.
Break time.
But we're back. Should be. People can see us. They can. Oh, Sirenscape, where are you? Where's my city?
That was an intense welcome back to Ravenholm after 4 months.
I mean, I wrote some stuff. You guys rolled some dice. Me and Jade cried in each other's arms.
I
My
mean,
dad's went to jail.
City of Ravens is shit, to be honest.
Yeah, every time
done a
you come
couple
back here.
Couple of millions worth of improvement as far as Ruby's concerned.
What a loss of life, though. What a loss of life.
And trees. All the trees got killed.
Yeah, trees don't take psychic damage.
No, but they take force. So, was it a
That
pan
might be
flute? I
Ruby's
need to know.
embroidery. Trees don't take psychic damage.
I'm not entirely sure, plain sight. I can dig into the sound set and find out, but I don't know. Or are you on about the break time music? I'll find out. So welcome back. We've had a break. Just before the break, the Tatharin Sasha, the Ivory Dragon, or at least the spirit of the Ivory Dragon, that is held to this realm by a enormous warforged body, escaped it for a little while, and has wreaked havoc on the City of Ravens. There is still the... oh shit. There's still shit everywhere. There are still people in the streets looking for loved ones, digging themselves out of rubble. Buildings and streets will never be the same again until they've prepared them and they look a little bit like they used to. The city has been given a doing over from the spirit of Natatharin. The palace ain't looking too shabby either. Xandria has managed to settle Natatharin, and Artarian and Natatharin are in the study at the end of the corridor. Yourselves are in the office of Romerick, who is all levels of not needing this on his plate right now. And he's just staring out at the window with a full glass goblet of a honey-coloured liquid. Argos is stood by the door, keeping as posture perfect as he can, with a little bit of a nervous shake going on. 3, 2, 1, you're in.
Lord Romerick, your messenger.
Argos. Yes. Lord Romerick, there's been a dragon attack. Romerick just holds his hand up. I know, boy. I know.
You know.
Go find... Take the day off. We'll continue your studies tomorrow. Yes, Lord Romerick. And he does a little bow to you all. And rests at last at Harry and does a long bow. Just kind of walks off. And Argos leaves in a bit of a nervous state, but
I'm still in the same room as Altarian and Chaffron, aren't I?
you're at the doorway where the bubble was.
Yeah.
It kind of encompassed half the corridor, so you're kind of just stood, or still on your knees. It's up to you.
Yeah.
So it's times a bit wibbly if you.
Yeah, heave myself up and then walk sort of like towards the pair of them.
You hear in your mind Artarian say, "It is a burden to carry, but one worth it."
Is there anything the pair of you require?
Ruby's
Well-
kind of like wandered up that way following the Warforged, so at Xandria's words, she's balancing like first aid kit in one hand, healing
Tea in the
spell
other.
in like on the other, like teapot balanced on a foot. Like this is an aftermath situation, and Ruby is ready to go here.
Are you saying your words out loud or responding to telepathy of Arterian?
Not out loud.
You say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
He responds back, "Nothing this world can offer, but thank you. Consider
Andrea will
yourself owed."
Xandria will give her a respectful nod, and she will leave the pair of them alone.
Ruby, what are you doing? Heading to Xandria or past Xandria?
No, I followed the Warforged into the room, so I probably sort of stopped next to Xandria, because again, this is like, you don't want to be so close as to be aggravating, but Ruby is definitely on hand, ready to go, because I'm assuming Arterian looks like he's had a bit of a kick in after all of that.
There is definitely a dishevelled look to Arterian, the usually perfectly presented.
Yeah, so she's gives him a bit of a side eye when he says he doesn't need anything, but he's old enough to refuse a healing spell or a medicine check if he wants to, so he sort of like doesn't gives him the once over, and if he appears to be not actually about to fall dead and he wants to suffer without a healing spell, then sort of not push it.
It's a minor comparison, but it's like when Big Jimmy's first partner dumped him. There's that sort of moment, you know what I mean? Physically looks alright, but definitely had a
It's a
run of
cattle
the
moment.
emotions. Yeah. Without you saying anything, Arterian says, "I thank you for your offer. Myself and Nathathan will be leaving shortly, and we are not in need of your aid, but it is appreciated. You have my gratitude."
Ruby nods to him, and she's doing the like, I'm not staring at the super interesting, really unusual being in the room, but I'm not staring at the super unusual, really interesting being in the room. Kind of, basically, it's sort of waiting to be told whether or not I can drop concentration on the spell, and I'll keep the portal open until I'm told we don't need it. But do all the hold on, I know it's an aftermath situation. What do I need to do? I'll turn my back on Arterian and look at Rogie Mc.
Still under the table.
Getting
held under the table.
Did you go under the table?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he got grappled under the table by the two of them. So wherever
actually,
you wanted to put him.
What I can kind of picture happening here is Ruby looking around like, well, where is he then? And Sapphire just like picking him up from under the table, like, got him.
Found him. Oh, that's a complete. The cat picking the human up by the scruff, by the little.
Yeah, they're like, found him.
By his ponytail.
Nathathan says to you, Ruby, "I'm sorry I stopped you. You may leave if you wish. It won't happen again." Followed by Arterian. "If you wish to converse proper, without interruption," and he looks at the 8-foot Warforged who hangs their head a little bit, "then there is information I believe would be beneficial to you, and I have questions for yourselves. If you would permit us a moment to take a breather."
Ruby will basically look around, like, sort of trying to catch Romeric's eye, like, so are we back to using magic circles then? To get around, or do we?
I think that there might be larger scale things needing dealt with in the City of Ravens right now, ahead of ourselves.
Romeric is oblivious to you not being in the room at the minute. There's definitely some abacus going on through his mind as he stares out of the window.
Yeah. It's like...
He kind of like tilts his head when you mention his name or make noise, but his current focus is out the window. You'd have to be a bit more old timer. Yeah.
Ruby look back at Arterian and be like, well, would you be more comfortable talking here or in the Copper Forest away from... And she sort of gestures at the concept of Ravenholm. The concept of the houses of Ravenholm, the concept of Ravenholm as a society and everything that is therefore wrong with Natafrin's world.
And who walks in the Jesuit steps currently?
Toodles?
Toodles.
Like Ruby's kind of saying that as a question because it's like
Arterian reacts the same. Toodles.
No, it's I'm like, I think I'm answering the right question. Like, I think I'm answering who is the Jesuit as far as I know, but it's you.
That's young Satire is the Jesuit. He says questioningly.
Ruby kind of like looks at the Sibs here, like with this look like, I am right. Yeah, like.
Kess is busy rooting around on the desk for loose parchment and a quill for Romerick. Because that amount of thinking going is going to need written down so it can get sent out to messengers. Because
there's stacks and stacks. As per when you first came in, it is an absolute admin mountain in his office at the minute.
Xandria replies to Ruby, "No, you are correct."
In that case, Ruby will nod and turn back to him and go, yes, Toodles is the Jesuit.
That would be an interesting trip. I am open to the suggestion of talking in the Copper Forest. And he takes hold of the hand of the Warforged. It's...
Ruby kind of like gives a gesture to the rest of them like, you know the drill, round up, through the portal.
Your portal's still in the office. Just
yeah.
I feel like we should possibly help get the wheels in motion for sorting out the catastrophic mess that has just been made here. No?
Yeah.
We might not be able to single-handedly rebuild the city, but I think we should at least...
I am inclined to agree with you, brother. We should
acknowledge that we were involved.
Romerick turns and just slumps into his chair.
Start talking, I'll start writing. What's the first thing on the list? What's of highest priority to check first?
Highest priority, the wounded, the dead, less priority, I suppose. We need to see if the priests can get their healing magics. I'll need to send word to the temples. We're gonna need to move all that rubble. The palace can wait. Nobles can kiss my rear. People, we just need hands. We need to move. I need to move. I can't sit here.
You need a plan before you can start
Sandria
moving.
pushes him down, just...
Otherwise, all you're going to do is get under everybody's feet. They're going to look to you to have a plan. So, contact the temples. They're going to deal with the wounded, and they're also going to get the bodies off the street. Not having bodies on the street will improve morale somewhat. People that are healed can start moving stone. Next.
Did you see it? Did you see it in the sky?
Yes, a big dragon. But the dragon is not there now, the mess is. Next item.
I suppose that in itself is all that is needed right now is the wounded. Whilst we
Who
deal
are your
with
best
that,
runners?
Argos leads most of them.
The one that you've sent home. Who's your second best runner?
I can maybe Tillip is still here.
Ruby, this was just sort of like rolls her eyes, like walks to the door, boots it open, sticks her head out into the corridor, and does one of those big dad whistles that the gang have come to know and love from her.
Ari, can you copy this out onto these sheaths of paper in common? Because I can't write in common. Worth a damn. You can read Sylvan. There we go.
Yep.
Then we've got notes to go
Being
out.
glad of something to do, Ari will actually like be like, "Oh, I can do something now. Cool, okay," and actually like properly start writing stuff out.
Then those can go out to the temples with the rough plan of what needs doing. Where do you want these people to all meet to start going out, or do you want to give them a district each?
Palace grounds. They will be able to go to the right people. There is quite an administration. It doesn't say the word with any pride throughout the city. They'll know where to go. They can go to the guild masters and the merchants and stuff. They will be able to deal with their specific roles within the city. They're going to be fairly busy, I would surmise. Arterian steps into the room, leaves the Tatharin outside. My apologies, Lord whatever your name is. Lord Romerick.
Lord Emrys, hello.
Lord Emrys. Meet Lady Zandria. My apologies, Lord Romerick. There is, I know that does not travel far, and I do not blame you for the past, but this is been a long time coming. But my apology still stands. May these be of use to you. And he passes him 3 little statuettes, all in the shape of just like standard humanoid shapes. They're maybe 3 inch high. They don't have any facial features or anything. These will help you summon elemental creatures of Earth. Whoever summons them will control them. They may help you for a day's rest. They should help with the debris. Romerick looks at Arterian. Do I kick off with this knobhead, or just accept his help? And he goes for the latter. Thank you, Lord Arterian. Your help is... Thank you. Just kind of drops his head, won't make eye contact with Arterian. Why is there a... Is that... And it's like, even though he went through it and got dragged back through it, it's like he's now just clicking that there's still a magical portal in his room, in his office.
Ruby sticks her head back in the door and goes, oh, don't mind that, that's me, I'm just keeping it in case we need to leave, because...
Give me a concentration check, because it's no longer been forced.
Yeah.
You can if you want to die,
you...
Sparky. Carry on.
Will you believe me if I say I've got the second nat 20?
I always believe you.
I'm sending a picture anyway, but yeah, that was that's a nat 20, and that's
Okay, so you are still able.
Concentration's wisdom, isn't it?
No, it's Constitution.
Oh yeah, in that case, 22.
You definitely feel it closing, like you cast it like a normal spell. Normally, it's a cast 6 seconds gone. So you are slightly distracted. Even your train of thought. So if you were trying, even like if you spoke a sentence, it'd be broken because you're trying to keep a spell together that is quickly fading away. You don't have much longer, and the DC will continue to get higher because it's not a spell that stays, and it's now been released.
Having said that to Romerick, I'll look at the others and be like, it's not a spell for holding normally, and I can't keep it open too much longer, and I can't cast another one of those until I've rested.
It's fine, Ruby. Let the spell end. I think we have more important things to deal with here first before we decide to go anywhere else.
Then, yeah, I'll drop the concentration.
No worry. If we need to travel, I can take us to the Copper Forest. Romerick, I am sorry, Lord Romerick. I will be in the. Just gestures down the stairs with Natatharin. If I can be of any further service, please let me know. Turns to you lot. When you are ready to converse, talk, chat, please come and get us. And he takes the hand of Natatharin again, like a child, and walks her down the corridor, down the stairs. He seems to be fully back to his it never happened self. Romerick sits a bit relieved that Artarian is no longer in his vicinity. Looks over at the parchment that Harry's writing, like scans it, nods. Yes, the temples. Where is? And he's looking on his desk, and he finds about the size of a tennis ball, smooth pearl, not as shiny, but it's got that pearlescent coloration to it. And he just holds it, seems to activate, and it's almost like it's backlit, but you don't see the source of the light. And he whispers a few arcane words into it, and then you hear like there's many, many voices, and he starts speaking into it. And he's essentially relaying messages to the temples of the woodcutter, the Red Lady.
Why the fuck are we writing shit down, my guy?
As in, he's requesting runners to come to come to the palace.
He starts throwing stuff in the fire. Fuck it all! Yeah. I'm going home.
Just setting fire to stuff. Oh, while we're here, dickhead. Requesting that they send their runners. They're speaking. He seems to be speaking to folk from, again, the guild houses and the merchant houses to send runners. He has instruction for them.
Did anyone answer Ruby's whistle?
One guard. The palace pretty much evacuated when a dragon started trying to tear it down.
Valid.
But there is a guard that is stood there. Yeah, chefs are not great at taking down dragons. Unless you've seen Under Siege. But in which case you're as old as me. The guard comes running up and is drip white. Maybe early 20s. Young lad, fresh into his... hardly fits his armour, like it's supposed to have been made for him, but comes up and has done that whole first day on the job. I didn't want to get fired, so I stuck around while the dragon attacked the palace. And he's kind of answers your whistle like it's the thing to do. Yes. He just stands there with his short sword out, for what use that would be. Just holding it like it's a spear, but just straight up in the air, just this short sword.
Ruby just sort of like opens the door further, and so he can see Romerick at the desk and
fumbles
Harry
the sword back
writing
into the
notes and
sheath.
stuff.
Stands up, soul dressed again. Lord Romerick, can I help? What do you need me to do? What should I do? I'm here. I'm here. Just raises his hand. Just settle down. Go to the palace doors. There are runners on the way.
Take
these with you. And passes over the parchment that Harry's been writing and rolling up. Little conveyor belt going between you. Hand these out to the runners. There'll be representatives of the temples and the guild houses. Yes, my lord. Just scoops them up and walks back down to the stairs and towards the huge double doors at the front. Romerick then settles down for a moment, just rubbing his forehead. So what now? And my apologies, Lady Summerbreeze. I wasn't expecting guests when you arrived.
It's quite alright. It wouldn't be normal if something didn't interrupt us.
Looks at Harry. Not very popular, are you?
Apparently not.
I mean, I like you, Harry. So what can I do for you?
Boy, I've forgotten what we even came to say to Robert for. It was 4 months ago.
We were getting
still-
passage to the Darsal Odyssean.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, and he gets back on the stone. He says the name
Lord Romerick.
Jasmine into the stone. There is a inaudible voice that returns. He nods a few times. The pearl stone dims again. The airships, only 1 or 2 were destroyed, but Jasmine and her crew are still available to take you to the Darsal Odyssean if you so wish.
Are you sure it wouldn't be a waste of your resources for us to take that just now?
The possibility of your actions bringing even a slither of peace to the nation I love, I consider it a resource well spent. The ship is only of a small crew, and they are trained in piloting an airship. Their skills do not lay in healing the wounded and I'm aware anyone can shift rubble, but as I said, if their resource benefits Ravenholm more, ferrying yourselves to the Darsal Odyssean, then I would see it done. But again, it is at your request. I don't suppose you take Arterian with you, or encourage him to.
We'll make sure he moves on and find out why he was here in the first place.
Was he not with you? I thought he just followed you.
We didn't bring him.
Super confusion now on Romerick.
Ruby kind of gives him a look at, and in that teenage way, the look on her face goes, "Yeah, mate, we brought the girl that tried to murder at least one of us with us."
There's
It's
a look
Ari.
of, you brought a dragon last time. It was just a different colour last time. 2 dragon attacks this poor codger's face now.
Oh, okay.
Well, assuming the palace doesn't fall apart around us, it's yours to take advantage of. Just let me know when and where or what you need. I think the drink's kicked in a little bit. I feel my nerves have settled. Thank you. I'll continue to do what I do best. And looks at the parchment all over his desk. And pats the sending stone.
If there's anything that we can be of assistance with, like you said, anyone can move some rubble, then please don't hesitate. I feel like we've brought some ill with us today. Through no intent, but it's happened.
Exactly. It's happened. It's done with. All is. It's done with. And he pours himself another large glass of honey-coloured liquid. So what are you doing, guys?
Let's go deal with Arterian.
So you go downstairs? So into the entrance hall to the palace. It's a little bit dusty, but it's not damaged. So obviously the damage done to the palace on the far side, kind of just a knock-on effect. Arterian is sat perfectly straight. His golden corset is now powder blue and has several bright yellow flowers, like small daisies but yellow, all like spiraling around it. His blindfold is still the same silk and gold blindfold that when you first met him. Natathryn is sat cross-legged on the floor in her 8-foot warforged self, and she's juggling motes of light. Arterian's just stood there, completely back straight. As you approach.
Sandaria will look to Altarian. Just kind of finds a wall to lean against. I believe you mentioned that you have some information for us, and perhaps that we may have some information for you. I believe now is probably the best time to speak before we move on in our journey.
Are we not going to the Copper Forest?
Ruby, who has wandered over to the Warforged and cast light as a cantrip, and is sort of like, you know, like when jugglers have you throw in extra. So she's basically just wandered over and just started playing with the immensely powerful 8-foot Warforged containing the soul of a dragon, and is playing catch with her essentially with pieces of light. But she just sort of like glances over and goes, "We can do if you want to."
The interaction with Natathryn, it is nostalgic of the Highlands. It is incredibly childlike. Yes, they're able to juggle, but the facial features are pretty much non-existent. It is almost like armour for the face, but the brightness of the eyes that kind of brighten as you throw in the light, and you can see just their body language and the way they move. They are childlike, maybe toddler. Not that my toddlers can juggle, but they don't have a spirit of dragon in them. More spirit of monkeys. But I'm happy to stay and converse wherever you so wish. I was mainly curious to see how Toodles is handling her role, or their role. My apologies.
Ruby shrugs and says, "I only said it because we had the portal open, really."
I could take us there if you still wish.
I worry Toodles might be quite busy at the moment. There seems to be a little bit of a war going on out there.
Yes, the fiends. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. I spoke to your friend here, gestures at Sapphire, in Vey. Oh, quite impressive how you met up so fast. It is a long distance. Sapphire just nods. There was a creature of a fiendish nature known as Kelthias. It was attacking the temple of your friend here. Myself and the Natathryn dispatched Kelthias. When I viewed the essence of Kelthias to see where it would descend, ascend, move on to, I was drawn to the highlands of Toa, where I saw a small party of warriors facing off against Kelthias. And, quite impressively, looks at Ruby, defeating said fiend. My curiosity now more than caught. I continue to witness this essence of this fiendish creature, to see it perish twice, and yet still have the strength to remain in this realm. And it went to the place that I have come to hate the most in this world. The Ivory Wall. And then I see a third, taking the mantle of leader of the fiends, Kelthias. I have killed creatures from the fiendish realms before. No doubt I will kill them again. Seeing them remain 3 times is new to me. I don't like it. And I don't think facing it purely between myself and the Tatharin will get rid of it. I don't believe yourselves can get rid of it. There is something I am missing. I need to know how to put this creature away forever. Not merely back in the plane of fiends, but gone, snuffed out. Book closed.
You could try looking in the mirror.
His hand raises up to the blindfold, and his hand comes back down.
Sorry.
And the Tatharin says, "What mirror?"
I shouldn't have said that because I'm taking this away from Sean. So yeah, Ruby cuts a look at Sapphire because
Sapphire does some quick exposition about the mirror.
yeah,
About the mirror being something of a
Yeah.
holy symbol for this weird paladinic sort of order of the pale and
Woman.
three
Woman
death
in
gods.
yeah, woman in
and-
mirrors.
yeah. The one we refer to as HBIC because Ruby's got the Celtic fear about saying something's name in case it shows up.
Hey up, Mary. How are you doing? You speak of the true. After said download from Sapphire.
Yeah. Ruby nods curtly because she's like says,
No.
no, we do not want the bitch in charge showing up.
Artarian looks at Sapphire, and we can clip this and send it to Sean, and shakes their head. Foolish, foolish cat.
Ruby gives a kind of like noise. It's like
Bet you don't know this half of it.
The Tatharin goes, "I like cats." Well, that did. You're not wrong, dear Druid. That realm beyond the mirror would definitely put an end to Kelthias, or at least achieve permanency when the end to Kelthias came. But Kelthias is not the issue then, are they? It's the true.
it would stand to reason that they would be able to send him back again and again if they are. The
Yes,
absolute.
yes, you are correct. Starts tapping his fingers on the table. Just looks absolutely like just can't believe the information that he's just received.
The vindication that Kess is currently feeling of someone else who is way above his pay grade going,
Suffering.
it's a bit of a clusterfuck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going, fucking told yous.
CEO's turned up and
Hold
gone,
this.
"What the fuck?"
See? It's not just me.
So, now we must deal with the true. They were locked away for a reason. It's kind of just saying this out loud. Well, at least we know how to find them. And looks at Sapphire. The drink you took, Sapphire nods. Not a wise idea. That has changed my plans considerably. Where do you head now?
We're moving on to the Darsal Odyssean. You're welcome and encouraged to join us.
I think I will. Ari, please don't startle the Tatharin. At least for a day or two. She will remain in her happy place. Just gestures at her juggling with the lights.
Well,
There's a reason I'm being very quiet. I'm very at the back of the group right now.
Ari's like, who's Ari? I'm not here. I don't go
Well,
here.
yeah.
Who's Aristotle Ragnarok too?
Argos, I think they want you. Throwing the kid under the bus again, Ari. Yeah? That's 2 death knights you've made. How do you plan to travel there?
Airship.
Airship. Not a fan of flying. Myself and Natathrun will meet you on the board, and just kind of... the circles are off. We will be close.
Probably for the best means we'll be dealing with the possibility of any disturbances on an airship.
My apologies. Looks at Sapphire. The one you call Rin, I believe you referred to them as your sensei when we met. They haven't passed on. Galthias took them, but they haven't passed on. So don't give up on your... well, you seemed quite passionate about them. I'll let Sean catch up with that. Yep.
Yep.
Better catch the Spotify.
I was going to say, I'm writing it down in case he doesn't get it. So there you go. Altarian, while the Tatterin is quiet and I'm less likely to disturb them, why? I mean, I know why they hate eagles, but why now? Why? What provokes them to become like that?
Sheer presence. It is not... And he's looking at the Tatharin as he speaks. It's nothing she can control. I have stood on the broken wall with Natathrun, staring out across the fiendish armies. She did not blink. She did not flinch. Her strength was immeasurable. Yet, to walk past a single eagle within an office, she was unable to fight it back. And that is a sadness that Natathrun carries alone. She seeks no vengeance on the eagles of Ravenholm. But there is something deeper that scarred her, that does.
Is there anything I can do if it happens again, if we are going to spend time in each other's company?
I would seek do not fear her.
Yeah, Cass pretending he's got a cough in the background there.
Just like that. No chance.
Ruby makes sort of offhanded comments on, poor thing. They used to call this spell shock. People who went to war and they'd come back and they couldn't... Or they...
Brilliant. Homebrew right there. Get on a t-shirt.
Well... Unless AD wants to show me some stats for mortar shells in Colossus.
It's called Fireball, Ruby.
It's called
Yeah, but Fireball
yeah, but you don't come back from that.
Yeah, Fireball also doesn't rhyme with shell.
Firebell. I don't know. We'll work on it.
Why were you both here, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm seeking a druid. A fairly powerful and well-practiced druid.
sort of like,
Do you want to know?
a particular one, or do you just want a druid to do? Do you just want some druid craft doing, or are you looking for a specific person?
I'm looking for Taradel.
Is it even worth me rolling to see if I know the name?
Roll history check. There was sightings in Ravenholm a while ago of a sapphire dragon in the skies to the north.
Yeah, Ruby got nothing. 2 plus an intelligence check for a druid, that's...
Did see the dragon to the north. What looked like 2 smaller figures on it. We... Just where we met Lord Romerick, actually. What was it? What was the town, Harry?
Marchbrook.
There you
I
go.
thought you'd written it down, because we talked about it earlier!
Yep.
No. Didn't. Ari responds, "It was March for a car."
Aha.
Taradel is a whisperer. And the only one that my memory serves that had the ability to change into a draconic form. And their favourite was that of Sapphire. I was going to ask Lord Romerick for permission to seek out Taradel. Not that I need it, but apparently it is respectful.
I think after what happened today, the respectful option would possibly be the best.
There's nods.
As they stand in the just
Ruins.
mortar dust all over fucking everything.
Yeah.
We've
Just-
had the
just
walls
one-
and the
one candle
ceilings
just falls
removed.
to the floor.
Yeah. Something just creaks and slams off to kind of the right hand side. Yeah.
That bit in Tomb Raider. I woke up and hated everything.
I can't say outside of seeing the dragon in the sky and understandably making pretty quick work of getting out of the town. We really saw much after that. But I would assume that the 2 figures that were with them possibly would suggest that they're traveling as part of a group, possibly. If it's someone they would trust enough to...
Taradel did have a family. Maybe they're still alive. I shall check.
Is there anything else we can assist you with?
Who is the false brother of the eagle in the north? Their
Ruby,
presence
like-
is not something I'm familiar with. It
With
is-
the air of one going, "Alright kids, I've got the extended editions. Blanket!" She just
There
looks
she
at me and goes, "What do you know about echoes?"
He doesn't want to answer. Not a lot. He does not like saying that.
Insight check.
Roll.
It's as Mel rolls.
Of course it
We'll
is.
see.
I love that insight check. Somebody
We have
else
re-rolls.
roll.
That's a 19 though, because stupid expertise.
Yeah.
There's no.
If he's willing to look like he doesn't know,
He
I don't
is.
think he's pretending.
There's no deceit. Like, you read right through it. Arterian does not know a lot about echoes and does not like that he doesn't know a lot about it. 'Cause
Ruby goes, right, well, as the least intelligent person here, I'm probably the best to do this with short words, quick answers. Everything that could have happened somewhere, it did. And in the realm of echoes, you can get to any of them, and the wrong one is come from another Raven home. And he did a lot of murdering of other Stefans to get here, and now the right one is trapped in the realm of echoes, and if we kill the wrong one, we get the right one back.
In theory.
In theory, and the clever people can give you a much better, but for
do you
the
have any idea
sake
why
of
he
brevity,
converses? It lets you finish, Ruby.
but for the sake of brevity, that'll get us going.
From another realm, I understand. Is there any reason you know of why he converses with Everdark?
Because he's a prick, and the guy called Everdark also sounds like he's a prick.
Mm-hmm.
Everdark is definitely a unique personality to endure. So if he is the wrong one, looks at Ruby, how is it your parents dine with him? And looks at Harry.
Did they know he's the wrong one?
He's pretending to be the right one, isn't he? Because everyone's
friendly with him. Rorik was saying he was helping, and
I forget, it's not easily sensed by you younger folk.
and not many people know much of echoes, so
Sapphire raises his hand. I know a little bit.
you say
so
he dines with my parents. Is this in the north?
Yeah, they are guesting with Lord Everdark, your family. My next question was going to be, why aren't you with them? But after your druid friend here explained it so in depth,
Wizards did it.
usually in my day it was the Fae did it, but wizards are definitely a commonality here. It would appear that we are on a similar path. We want rid of the demons, or at least a couple of them. We want to help your friend with the true. I can't allow the true to wander. And now this wrongin'.
I'm sorry, just the idea of this wronging passing through Arterian's lips is just exquisite.
Ruby cheerfully adds, "You got a problem with blood pillars, then I think our to-do list is all the same all the way down."
Ah yes, those troublesome spikes. That's another thing I do not like. I cannot approach them, I cannot read them, I cannot interact with them.
Oh, they'll be answered for.
We've got a copy of the inscriptions off of them if you want to look.
Just holds out his hand. Sapphire passes them over. Well, starts moving them around. As he waves his hand over them, they light up. Did not know you were versed in writing scrolls. And looks at Sapphire and starts flipping through them. Sapphire looks incredibly surprised. They're not scrolls. You are wrong. Just keeps flicking through them. These are quite potent. Just holds them out to you.
And they are
The inscriptions are one of imprisonment. Quite old, to be fair. The language used is not used as often by the wizards this generation, or even a few generations ago. Your wizarding enemy seems to have acquired some ancient knowledge. But who knew that's what wizards would seek? Are any of you of an
Ruby just
arcane...
sort of like muttered, like just sort of churlish muttering, because I'm gonna slap him silly when we get to him. Once again, with the like when he says he doesn't like them, Ruby's got her that sort of like scary nature aura on, but we all know Ruby's feelings on Corbin and the Blood Pillars, so.
Are any of you of an arcane skill?
It gets the most like droll look. Like,
Actually, yes.
Somehow. Gestures to Ari.
Arterian looks at Kess and Ari. You can learn these. Holds the scrolls up, now to be announced as scrolls. Learn them. Recite the incantation around the pillars. It will subdue them, weaken them. I don't believe it will completely eradicate the work done by this wizard, but it will definitely dampen the powers it allows them. If you seek to destroy the wizard, I would do this first.
so the inscriptions on the pillars dampens the pillars.
But you have to cast it, and you have to know. If you don't know, you can't cast it. If you aren't a cleric, you will not call down the divine and heal wounds, or resurrect a soul. But you can learn. It's the same with this. It is an arcane language that has not been used since, and looks at Kess and Xandria, before you were even the imagination amongst humans around campfires. Where your wizard has gathered this information from, I do not know. But if you can learn this language, you can cast the magics upon the scrolls. And as I say, it will only dampen the magic of them. I would assume the wizard needed it in a weakened state to implement the pillar. And then, as one would stand back from a childish experiment with alchemical concoctions.
That makes more sense.
The interesting part, if my translations are correct, is the spirits within are exactly that. They are spirits of our nature, gesturing to Kess and Xandria. And similar to the essence I followed of Kelthias, they will reside within the pillar. Destroy the wizard, destroy the pillars, and our kith will fly free to wherever their fair essences need to go.
Well, that is good to know. We can at least make sure that they are at rest.
Ruby is one word away from encouragement for being straight out that they're not in a room with a door, but like in Toa when Kess had to basically hold her off the floor to stop her running out the door. One word of encouragement for being from throwing a load of cross-stitch materials across the room by gesturing wildly and just going straight on a Liam Neeson in terms of rampagement straight for the wizard.
Don't know where the fuck you are, but I got a certain set of skills.
Oh, Ruby has a very particular set of skills.
Throwing a cup of tea in his face. Arterian sits and hands the scrolls back to Sapphire. So it does seem we are now allies.
honestly quite shocking given our initial encounter. all
Not
that
really.
time ago.
We wanted the same thing.
On the contrary, you did me a great, great favour. One, if worded properly, I would have been forever in your debt. But for now, know that I will aid you of my own choice.
That is good to know. The more allies, the better.
So, anything else you require of this humble fair?
When should we expect you at the Darsal Odysseum?
When you arrive. I don't think they will welcome me with open arms if I turn up without a... I shall wait for yourselves to arrive.
Understood.
Is there something we should know about your relationship with them there before we...
Ravenholm does not like fair, and that is an establishment that trains the elite. They are in Ravenholm, and some of them still carry old fears.
Don't
Yeah.
we know it?
Ravenholm will have to learn to deal with it.
It's Nodsy. And I have a dragon.
Ideally,
You just
if
hear
we can
Natafrin
keep-
go, I'm a dragon.
you are indeed. But if we can ideally try and keep today's excitement to a minimum while we're there, it might be for the best.
I agree.
I suppose we should see if Lord Romerick is still in one piece, if you're wanting to speak with him before you head. I've got a feeling your mode of transport will be a bit quicker than ours.
I can sit here with Natafrin if it would bore or upset her to go
Give me a persuasion check.
back in. Okay, I mean, it's literally just, if he says no, she's just going to go, alright, because it's just an offer, a suggestion is 16, and what is my thing on persuasion? Which is charisma, so that is a 15, because dump start.
Let's be fucking dice game. Artarian stands in expectation that Natafrin will stand as well. Hears you say that, pauses, takes a long deep breath, just nods and heads up the stairs to the office. And Natafrin just sits there looking at you all. Hi.
Hello.
Ruby starts busting out some like real low level druid druid
Yeah.
magics, like, you know, makes Natafrin a little flower. You know, maybe we bring back the
She
juggling with lights
grabs
kind of thing.
she grabs
Just-
a little flower. Oh wow! Turns it into a bouquet of the same flower.
Ruby just absolutely just. Yeah, no, Ruby's found a friend now, so Ruby basically just like laughs and claps and just throws herself into whatever flower creating or making daisy chains out of them or whatever it is we're doing that's fun right now.
She plays. What the rest of you doing?
Just kind of
Sandria's
watching
left,
over,
just had enough.
making sure that nothing combusts.
I think Ari will probably go up with Artarian because, yeah, probably not having him in the same room as the Tatharin right now, just in general.
So, as you go upstairs with Artarian, he walks side by side. It is, I mean, he is tall. He's an archphase, or you know, he's very much present. There is no way anyone would believe that he's blind in any way, shape, or form, blindfold or otherwise. But Just walks beside you. You've only got a few moments before you get to the office, and he just pauses before they get to the doorway, turns to you. I knew your grandfather, but he did not know me. You are aware, yes? And just says it as if you should know as much as he does.
Aware of.
Children. You step through the mists, yes?
Yes.
When you sing, magic happens. When you play instruments,
yes.
when you recite a story, those around you fall in. Your charms are beyond that of your... I suppose some humans would find you handsome. When you dance, people watch. When you fight, people watch. When you fight, it is as if you are dancing. Correct?
Not training though.
Yes, training. Why the one of summer? Have you... Why is she flicking her hair like that? Is it the milkshake? Sorry.
It's Maybelline.
Yeah.
Maybelline. We've been through a lot. And she means a lot.
Just raises one eyebrow. Do not all of them mean a lot?
Yes.
So you give your heart easily?
Well,
I have in the past.
And what of the future?
Still undetermined. I wouldn't want to speak for anybody else.
Maybe another time. Don't die, Eagle. The one of summer would not be happy. And steps into the office with Romric. And you follow. They have a quick conversation that I'm not going to do backwards and forwards because it just gets weird. One's a posh human, one's a posh bear. But essentially, you hear the conversation between them of Arterian requesting permission. There's no there's no like oomph behind the request. It's like Arterian's just saying, could have said any words, just says words to Romric about seeking permission to seek out somebody of Ravenholm known as
Tyrell?
Tyrell, Jesus. But does inform Romric that it is the one that was rumoured to be a sapphire dragon above a town in the north. Romric looks at you, like piecing it together, like, it's fucking dragons everywhere. And Romric, quite instantly, gives permission to Arterian to seek anyone he wishes in Ravenholm.
Off you go, mate.
Yeah. What are you lot doing downstairs while that's happening?
Just hanging out with the Sathrim, really.
Cool.
Making sure nothing fucking explodes for 5 minutes.
You do witness the runners
Mostly sitting down in semi-quiet.
You witness the runners tipping up and the guard from before and the scrolls being handed out. There are a few people that seem to just turn up from the gardens, probably by magical means, and come walking past yourselves and into the palace. And they seem to be assessing the damage done and such like this. And there is a bit more of a commotion now going on after the settling of the dust. And people are going about doing what they need to do in the aftermath of Natatha and Sasha are having a bit of a moment. As the moments pass, Arterian will return to you all downstairs, I'm assuming with Ari in tow. Well, we'll be leaving now. And see you at the Dar Shaladusian.
We'll see you there.
Natatharin, we're going now. Okay. Just stands up. Bye. And just goes and holds Arterian's hand.
Oh, Ruby would have jumped up too and basically given her a hug and bid her see you soon.
Even though she's full ivory plate, there is a warmth. And she kind of half snuggles the hug back like a child would. It's that weird, like, just face in your face, like you're in my face. And it goes over to Arterian, holds his hand, just nods at you, and they disappear. Has he gone? Yeah, Romerick just poke his head out of the thing. Oh, at last. Jasmine's asking if she's needed.
Yeah, let's head out.
Ari, you'll need to lead him to the Himmel, which is the sky dock in the City of Ravens. You've been there once or twice. You've got enough knowledge that you'd be able to take him there.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I can't remember we've been here before or not. I'm like, I don't remember.
I think we said once that Ari had been there a couple of times when he was a teenager.
Yeah,
like
so
when we first came here. So this
you've
is
been
like
to the
Ari's
capital city.
previous knowledge.
Like you took a gap year before you took 10 years. But yeah, so you're
Gap year prior to the gap year.
You can get there pretty much however you see fit. On your way there, as expected, the aftermath is horrendous. It looks like several earthquakes hit the city. The fact that it was force damage, just sheer presence of magic rather than any elemental burning or freezing or anything like that. It just looked like a lot of earthquakes have hit the city. There are people that are in need, wandering around. There are people wounded. There are people beyond help. It's not great. You make your way down to the sky docks. It is in just as much disarray as the rest of the place. As Romerick had said, a couple of the ships are messes and grounded. The sky dock is not far from where the sea docks are, and the two sky ships are in the water, absolute wrecks. And there are two or three that are still kind of levitating. Large balloons above them. Ari, you know, or at least have heard, that there is elemental magic used to keep them aloft. That, you know, rumours of elemental creatures that work for Ravenholm and to use their powers to fly the ships. Stories that they were imprisoned. Stories that they, you know, like fair contracts and such like this. Like, there's loads of stuff around it, but essentially these airships fly because of elemental magic in some way, shape or form. As you are approaching the sky dock, coming towards you is a halfling woman. Her hair is like so sunburnt blonde. There's no other opportunity for any other shade of colour to touch her hair. She's got a short bandana around it just to keep it out of her thing. She could not tick any more boxes to look like the story pirates that you hear as children around campfires. Even in the deserts, she seems to be matching all the descriptions of the loose trousers and the waistcoat around the shirt. You can see that her shirt is kind of rolled up, so you can see her stomach and there are tattoos across it. There are small tattoos on her arms and such. She has a long dagger at her hip. And she's kind of just walking around. On the back of her waistcoat, there is a real novice attempt at embroidery of a hooded something on the back. And she kind of just walks down this long gangplank from the ship down to the actual dock, because the ship is maybe 20 feet floating in the air. And for no reason, does a forward roll and flips at the end of that forward roll to land in front of Ari as you all approach. Aristotle, Dancer of the Eagles, welcome. I am Jasmine Anderson. You could call me short. It's ironic. She turns around, follow me, and she just walks back towards the gangplank. Just completely confident that you're the right person that she announced.
He'll kind of like laugh to himself. Be like, I like her, and just follow her up.
She got any tartan or any clan markings in the tattoos?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, no, not with that dice. That dice has gone elsewhere now. That was a 20. 13. What is my perception? What's that? 7 plus 4. Let's go with 4. That is a total of 17.
17. The tattoos across her stomach and over her hip are of a tartan design, completely colourless, just the outline of tartan. That tells you that she has some connection to Clan Hollow Tree, which is actually a dead clan. They're a very, very old clan, like you hear stories about them. Their role in the Towan Highlands was to escort spirits into the realms, into the forests of the Drydacker. When your spirit passes on, you go into the perfect forest of the Drydacker, the oaks and the ashes and the willows and such. And it was their role that when your spirit was to go onto this said forest, you know, the halfling's flavour of paradise, as it were. Clan Hollow Tree were the ones that escorted. They crossed realms. They lived in the material realm and the realms of death and the fair realms and the realm of the Drydacker. It was their lot in life to be these realm guardians, to make sure the spirits of those of the Highlands get to the Drydacker forests. But according to the histories, there were creatures from whatever realm. The stories vary, whether it was from the realm of death, whether it was the Drydacker had been corrupted and these creatures came from their realms to stop. But there was something that wiped out Clan of the Hollow Tree. And the stories vary. You know, wraiths, demons, corrupted fae. They offended the Drydacker, so they sent guardians to take them out. Stuff like this. There's so many stories of why this clan no longer exists, but their lot in life was to realm walk and protect the spirits as they cross realms. She keeps walking up the plank, and she's just assumed you're following, but she does have a cheeky look over her shoulder. Are you following?
There he is.
Yeah, Ruby. Well, that's interesting enough that. Well, not only are the others going, but this is an interesting person.
As she walks up, looks over her shoulder. You're better looking than Romrek first said. Welcome to the Enchanted Assassin, as she then breaches the top of the gangplank onto the deck. Over here you've got my quartermaster, Ricardo, say hello. And you can see Ricardo, this tall, lean tabaxi, black fur, speckles of grey, just shouts, hail, just waves across. Sailing Master Leonardo, say hello. Leonardo's halfway up the main mast and is tying some of the rigging. Another tabaxi with grey fur. Both Ricardo and Leonardo look like Turtle Sweet, look aged. We've got my boatswain, Ameline, say hello. Another halfling, young lass. She is pretty hench, and she is just wrapping a thick rope at the far end. Here is my carpenter, surgeon, chef, cook, tell you nighttime stories, We call him Mr. Wood. You see this old human, just bald head, bit of fluff round the ears. His beard is just patchy, like it's been burnt at the chin, so it doesn't grow anymore. He just looks an absolute mess, and is just whittling away with a large chunk of wood. And there's a pot of stew next to him that he keeps whittling at the wood and then stirring the stew. Bit of the sawdust kind of falls into it. Benjamin, where's Benjamin? Looks up in the crow nest. You see two people up there. In charge of the ballista. Benjamin, say hello. You see a dwarf just waving over the side. Bald head, no beard. Bright, like cherub-like face. Big cheesy smile on his face, looking young. Is next to an elven gentleman who is looking like they belong on a cruise ship and not a jolly airship. They're immaculate in their dress. That's Lewis. Lewis is just a friend of mine. Lewis shouts down, "I'm your first mate." That's what I said, you're a friend of mine. Over here we got Enrique. Enrique, you should know Enrique, formerly of the Eagles. Enrique looks at you. Neither of you know each other. One of those. Oh, you live in Scotland. Do you know Steve?
Don't even. Oh.
And this whippersnapper over here, you see a Goliath kid coming towards you. She's got long black hair that's tied in a single braid behind her head. She's taller than Jasmine. She's about 5 foot. Coming towards you, she's got loads of bangles and stuff around her wrists. She's got a same long knife, but she's definitely a Goliath child. This is Dantus. She's in learning. One day going to be the captain, aren't you? Yeah. Yes, I am. She just kind of punches a thingy. And probably the most important on the ship. Where the? I'm looking around. And then a robed figure, hood up. The robes are of a deep brown. They've got a bit of a yellowing trim to them. Just apparates behind Jasmine. Just says boo. Jasmine near turns around, whips out the long knife. I knew it were you. You didn't get me. You did not get me. This is our glyph warden, Nicolette. Nicolette bows. You can't really see their facial features, like the hood is over and like the shadow in the hood itself. Is definitely an enchantment. Like it keeps their face from being able to see the detail. Nicolette keeps their bird in the sky, points up at the large balloon that's in the air, and has a wonderful relationship with the ship. Don't you, Nicolette? You just hear whispers come out of the hood. Yes, I do. Welcome aboard the Enchanted Assassin. And everyone else just starts echoing that. Welcome aboard, Enchanted Assassin. We're here. We'll keep you safe. No one will die. And if you can't swim, don't worry about it. We're a few thousand feet in the air. Jasmine turns to you all. Well, Romerick says I have to take you southeast. Dar Shaladusian, is it?
Yes.
Cool. Well, happy bunch. Let's go. Nicolette, have a word with your other half and tell them we need to get going. Nicolette shakes their hooded head, raises her arms, and you see a blue-white energy kind of radiate from the balloon above the ship itself, and the ship starts to rise into the sky. A few moments later, you are heading southeast on an airship. The sky wind blowing in your faces. Xandria and Kess having the, cost their worth it time of their lives as the hair's just flowing.
Nah, that's gone back. That's gone back as soon as no.
You know how long it took?
One. No.
Blows all the sand out of it. And yes, you are heading southeast on an airship. And that is where we will call tonight's session.
Yay! We didn't die.
So,
like a trying.
welcome back, folks. Stuff happened. It got talky. It got dramatic. It got airshippy. We will see what happens on your journey to Dar Shaladusian on an airship across a demon-infested Well, yeah.
What could possibly go
Thank you very much,
wrong?
chat, for joining in, and the bits, and the cheers, and the shares, and the subscriptions, all that stuff. Really cool. Thank you very much. Players, super great to have you all back. It's been amazing. It's 4 months in, too long. And we'll see you all next week for session 78. So for now, say good night, players.
Good night,
Good night,
players.
players.
Bye-bye.